Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. Hey Pile 1, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another pick a card love reading. We are tapping in, channeling through what your person's next action or move towards you in this connection is going to be. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's general, you know the deal. If it resonates, take it, run with it, claim it, do whatever you want with it. If something's not resonating though, just drop it, leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating for. All right, you guys, and I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. All the booking details are listed in the description box. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25, so go check them out, see which ones most fit your needs, wants, and desires. Okay, you guys, so you guys were drawn to the etched selenite heart. Let's get your person's, the overall energy of their next action. So we have the High Priestess in the reverse, showing up with mutable energy, and then we also have coldness. Let me look at this real quick. There's a lot of this feels like stagnation, and there's a lot of wishy-washy coming back, a lot of wavering in your person's energy when it comes to whatever their next action is going to be. Your person, it feels like they may not have decided yet what the next action is going to be, but I'll be honest with coldness here. It says absence of love, love life is blocked, frozen in some area of your life, emotions buried deep within. At least at the time that you're tuning into this, the energy, their mood towards like whatever their next action is going to be, it doesn't seem like it's favoring this connection, okay? But we're going to get into it and find out what's going on here. Yeah, even in here with mutable, it says action. It says stop, destroy, and death. I mean, they might be literally be contemplating, you know, ending the connection in terms of what their next action is going to be. They're not following their heart or their intuition though on that. They could be following fear or ego, okay, when it comes to, you know, their next action, what that next action is going to be. So let's move on. Let's get your person's overall energy towards you and towards the connection real quick. Pile 1's person, your honest true thoughts and feelings towards pile 1. to help us figure out what your most likeliest of actions is going to be. Your true thoughts and feelings towards, yeah, this goes back. Yeah, I'm telling you, wavering. Because sometimes they're in the energy of feeling very stressed out by you in this connection, and then sometimes they're in the energy of feeling like, you know, you're their happy place. The connection is their happy place, all right? So I feel like, you know, what's going to move them, like their next action really is largely dependent on which part of the spectrum they're on in that regards, right? Right now, though, it's dominating this space where it says you stress me the F out, but I'm going to leave it here because that came out that way for a reason. Again, I was picking up on them wavering. Yeah, it says I care too much what other people think. Let's get one more. Your person may have the propensity to allow other people's opinions to guide them or influence them when it comes to you and to this connection. So, I mean, it could be the desires of someone else or other people may be influencing their next action too. So, I mean, if they're feeling influenced or drawn towards, you know, like ending things, stopping things, pulling their energy back, someone else may be influencing that behavior and or that decision. Okay, pile one, let me get one more. The real honest thoughts and feelings towards pile one. I choose you. Oh my gosh. And then it's at the bottom of the deck, it says, I'm telling you the truth. Okay. So we may be catching this person right now, pile one, when they're kind of maybe feeling in the funk, or maybe they just got through spending time with people who, for whatever reason, you know, whose influence gets in the way of this connection. But the fact that we do have I choose you actually coming out on the board, this almost feels like no matter what's going on in their energy right now, and that could be that mutable energy too, that wishy-washy energy. It's like sometimes they choose you regardless of what other people say, and then sometimes they allow themselves to be swept up in what other people say that influences how, you know, they're moving with you in this connection. It's still very wishy-washy. Okay, the fact that we have both of these coming out, and we'll see what else is revealed about, you know, what is influencing your person's next move towards you and towards the connection. We have I'm telling you the truth at the back of the deck. Why is that there? Because, you know, their true feelings, what they may have told you about how they feel and what they want with you in this connection, all of that still stands, even though, you know, they do have the propensity to be influenced either way. Either it's influenced by you or influenced by other people. Let's find out. What do you want with pile? Actually, what I want to do is clarify. I care too much what other people think. Your person's having a hard time. I mean, look at I choose you. Tell me more about I choose you. Okay. Yeah, you guys. Fuck. Temperance in the reverse. They're too wishy-washy to nail down right now what their next action is going to be. Okay. In fact, it could be very well that their next action is going to just be more, at this point in time anyway, withdrawing their energy because they're having a difficult time choosing. Okay, there's a part of them that wants to choose you in the connection, and then there's another part of them that wants to make either someone else happy that has some kind of influence on this connection, or just make other people happy. Okay, I'm talking like maybe if there's a third party involved, that's going to make sense. If there's maybe like a family situation or a friend group that, you know, for whatever reason, gets in the way of this connection. You know, they go back and forth, okay? But what they want you to know, and I'm going to find out what that's about. What is I'm telling you the truth at the bottom of the deck about? What's that? Because what I was thinking earlier, you know, is I was trying to figure out like who has the most influence here when it comes to like the decisions they're going to make towards you and towards everything's coming out even, right? Ambiguous even. Everything's coming out to where it's like I'm not seeing where you or the other people influence is winning out. That's why I feel like your person is having a difficult time making a decision, because you know, when they get a handle on, okay, these are the reasons why I should, you know, take action or a specific action towards pile one that favors pile one in the connection itself, you know, and then that reason will get canceled out by something that they're like, you know, reasons to do what other people are saying they should do or feel, or, you know what I mean? That influence, it's being canceled out. Tell me more about I'm telling you the truth at the bottom of the deck. What's this energy here for? You know, if your person was talking to you, like expressing how attracted they are to you, how you make them feel romantically and sexually and stuff like that, they were being honest and truthful about that, okay? There just may be something with the Ten of Wands in the reverse, clarifying, caring too much about what other people think when it comes to you into this connection. It's almost like it's easier that way. It's easier, you know, I don't know who these other people are. If it is a third party where it's like more of a love triangle kind of a thing, it's like it may very well be that you and the other person has equal influence and importance and significance to your person, but maybe for different reasons, okay? Your person is lost and stuck on what to do when it comes to this connection, because making a choice is going to require maybe some kind of sacrifice that they're not quite ready to make. Okay, so right now it's feeling like your person's next action, pile one, is to stall more or be confused more, feel stuck more. It feels like their next action may not really be an action at all. It's going to, like, you know, their next action is not really to take an action. Is, you know, leaving this connection and you confused and in limbo. All right, let's find out. Pile one's person, what do you want with pile one? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you want with pile one specifically? And this may be a difficult question to ask. Let's see. What do you want with pile one? Mixed feelings. Exactly. That's what I was picking up on. It's difficult even in that regard because, you know, again, they're having a hard time like letting go of one path and fully choosing another, whether that, you see what I'm saying, regardless of the path that they choose, whether it has you on it or not. Give me a couple more. What do you want? They don't want to. We got mixed feelings and a runner, and then let's get one more. Okay, mixed feelings says indecisive, conflicting feelings, unsure of their relationship. Runner says avoiding the connection, running from themselves, ignoring you. And so it's like, what do they want? It's like they don't want to be put in this position to have to choose, okay? Cursed. It says string of bad relationship, karmic cycle, the evil eye. You honestly, you want to know, and then plastic says surface level relationship, fake love messages, not a real love connection. I'm going to be honest, what's coming through, like what your person would want, they don't want to be the one to have to choose. Okay? They don't want, so what's coming through is they would almost prefer for you, like if things are going to end, they would almost prefer for you to be the one to end it. Kind of taking like the burden or the obligation off of them. I'll be honest, pile one, what's coming through in your person's energy, they're not poised to make a move in this energy anytime soon. And it is one of those things, again, just being honest with the messages and the energies and the feeling and what I'm sensing that's coming through. Not saying that if your person wanted to end things with you, right, they really didn't want anything to do with you anymore, they would have ended it themselves, but they're in limbo, okay? But they're not going to resist you ending the connection if that's what you end up doing. Because then they, by default, end up having, it's like they didn't choose, but by default, it's like, okay, well, now I know what path to take, right? And so, I mean, this is coming up in their energy altogether. They don't want to make a decision. Okay, if this is a love triangle, right, then if you or the third party, you know, one of you decides to exit the triangle first, then it's like your person's going to go to the last person standing, okay? It's like, so if that's a third party walking away and then that leaves you and your person together, just know that you won by default, okay? You won because the other person forfeited, and the same is true as if, you know, you walk away and then the person ends up with the third party. The only reason why the third party won is because you decided to walk away. Your person isn't choosing anything or anyone here. They're not choosing you, and they're not choosing the connection. They're kind of stuck in between, you know, what you want versus what other people want. And it's like those they contrast and they almost like cancel each other out. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, they are worried about what other people will think, with gossip showing up at the back of the deck. Worried about what others think. Yeah, it's there twice. There's either a group of friends, or there's family, or there's a specific person, like a third party, a love triangle kind of a kind of a dynamic that your person is kind of feeling pulled in 2 or 3 different directions by. Okay, you guys. Yeah, I think that concludes your reading, pile 1. It was pretty much direct and to the point. All right, you guys. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a minute, if you would, smash the like button for me. You know the drill. It's a great way to energetically donate to the channel, as well as show your appreciation. It also keeps me on top of the algorithms. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Don't forget, you can become part of the family by hitting the subscribe button, as well as, you know, that notification bell, so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And I will see you guys, pile 1, at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, guys. Pile 2, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another pick a card love reading. We are tapping in and channeling your person's next action or next move towards you and towards the connection. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's just general reading. Whatever resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't resonating, just drop it, leave it behind for whomever it might resonate for. Again, as always, I have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. All the booking details are listed in the description box below. Lots of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25, so go check them out. Okay, you guys. You were drawn to the Rainbow Fluorite point. Oh. Is your person, I'm picking up your person feeling nervous. Feeling nervous about something. And then we got the moon coming out. So the energy that is influencing like what their next move is going to be, your person is actually feeling pretty nervous about. Okay, we're going to find out what that action is. And then we got the first house being characterized though by feminine energy, because in this deck, the first house there's like 2 first house cards. Sorry, one is female and the other is male, or feminine, the other one is masculine. So, and then again, the moon is a very masculine and feminine energy card as well. So, and then we have leadership here. Okay, so what this feels like, pile 2, is that your person is currently kind of in contemplation about what their next move is going to be. Okay, I'm not picking up on any energies where they are stalling, like, you know, to avoid taking action. This is them in contemplation. They're trying to feel it out, right? And so they could have, or they might be taking some space to themselves at the moment, trying to, like, you know, figure out what their next move is going to be. But this is not mind-based energy. This is like trying to feel, like, you know, follow their heart. What's the best next move going to be? But there is some nervous energy here that they are trying to get a handle on. All right. The good news is we do have leadership here, and so this is somebody who has the courage and even the motivation and inspiration to take action once they feel that the action they're wanting to take is aligned. That's what I'm feeling like is going on here. They're trying to figure out what action feels best aligned. Okay. This is actually, you know, pretty good energy in terms of your person. They're not being flippant. They're not being reckless. They're not being, what's that word? They're not being impulsive, right? They're really trying to get a feel for what the best next step to take here is. Let's look at their overall energy towards you and towards a connection to help us figure out what that next step is going to be. Pile 2's person, your honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 2 to help us discern what your next action is more than likely to be towards them in this connection. Pile 2's person, your honest, true thoughts and feelings, please, towards pile 2. All right. Pile 2's person, your honest, true thoughts and feelings towards pile 2 in the connection. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of where they're at right now. It says, I don't know what to do or what to say. Yeah, they're trying to figure that out. Okay, let's get a couple more. Your honest, true thoughts and feelings towards pile 2. Moving slow, but making progress. Yes, that is that Knight of Pentacles in the upright energy coming through. Okay. And that is why they are moving slow, very methodical, very strategic, but there is progress being made, even if, you know, in the 3D you're not sensing or detecting it, pile 2, okay? This is your person really, like, when you think about what the Knight of Pentacles, that is, you know, that's somebody, that's earth energy, right? Very strategic, responsible, reliable, and not impulsive at all. This, you know, that Knight of Pentacles energy is somebody that is not going to make a move unless they know the move they're going to make is the best one, right? It feels the most aligned. All right, so this came out initially kind of in, you know, a neutralized position, which means both energies here apply, but it situated itself to the side where it says, aren't you tired of dealing with my bullshit yet? I think the reason why it did that is because, you know, when I first made this deck, it was coming from a very flippant space, but the fact that it came up the way that it did, your person's letting you know, pile 1 or 2, sorry, they do respect you, okay? They might be asking themselves, like, you know, I don't know if maybe your person has been somebody who wavers. Look, and then at the bottom of the deck, it says, we will be together again. Your person is almost asking themselves if you're getting tired of them trying to figure things out, okay? But they're letting you know, though, it's not because they don't respect you. They actually do. But they're trying to get a feel for what the best next move is going to be, okay? Let's find out what it is they're wanting. Okay, so they do want progress, right? That is what they want. They want progress in this connection, but they want it to be in the right direction. What do you want with pile 2? What do you want with pile 2? someone in this connection may need to get a divorce, or may need to, like, you know, if that's you guys, it is what it is. Okay. Divorce alimony says terminating a marriage, separation will be costly, complicated relationship. We also have angry, so it says resentment, invalidated, mistreated, being triggered. Oh, we got a phone call showing up at the back of the deck. Okay, so this feels like a conversation, like what your person is wanting is to have a very important conversation about something, and that might be why I'm picking up on your person being very slow to come to whatever the decision is, because it could get very messy between the two of you. Okay, or just, you know, if this is involving like a love triangle, you know, it does feel like your person right now is contemplating ending a connection. Okay, at this point in time, I mean, it does say we will be together again, and then we have phone call. It says expression of interest, wanting to talk, and communication is key. I'll be honest, I'm not seeing yet, okay, if this is a third party love triangle, I'm not seeing who your person is choosing, if it's you or the third party. Let me get the energy of what this says here. We will be together again, because I don't know what kind of energy that's coming through. Is that romantic, or is that just getting together to talk, you know, logistics, right? Tell me more about we will be together again. That's showing up at the bottom of the deck. I mean, this is your person saying, like, their next move is to reach out to you, to have a conversation with you, to reunite with you. I'm not picking up, though, where that reunion is taken on like a romantic, like, let's work this out kind of a deal yet, okay? Because what they're wanting with angry, it says, you know, and this feels like it might be geared towards this connection. Like their next move might be something that ends up triggering you and or pissing you off, okay? It may be a move you're not expecting. It may shock you, and it may involve the end or the termination of a marriage or a long-term relationship. Because this is talking about their connection with you. What do they want, you know, when it comes to you and to this connection? The fact that it's saying it's going to be something that triggers you is lending me, you know, to the conclusion that the reunion or this conversation is not going to be one that maybe you're wanting to have. And now I'm kind of understanding why they're in the moon energy, because they're fully expecting, you know, some pushback here. And the fact that they opened up the reading pretty much with I don't know what to do or what to say, it's like I don't know what the right thing is to say. They don't, it's like, where do I start? How do I even kick off this conversation? It almost feels like what your person is, you know, trying to wrap their heads around is, how do I start this highly, like, this conversation that's going to be about a topic that can be highly, you know, inflammatory and possibly even volatile, just depending on, you know, how you're feeling about it. Pile 2. Did I call you pile 1? If I did, I'm sorry. Okay. They're not wanting to make you mad. That's not their intention. But what they're saying is their next move and their next action, very well, that's probably what's going to end up happening, you know. And if it's a love triangle, it feels like it's going to make, you're the one who's going to be angry. They're going to anger you or cause frustration in this connection by ending, you know, either ending your connection or their connection with someone else. But it's going to frustrate you. It's going to shock you. It's going to possibly make you angry, which is why I'm saying it's probably going to be their connection with you that they're going to end up, you know, ending or leaving or separating from. Show me the energy of we will be together again. Actually, they want to talk about moving slow but making progress. Let's see, because now in light of all of this other information, it feels like, you know, moving slow towards whatever this divorce alimony energy is down here. Moving slow but making progress. Towards what? Okay, figuring it out, yeah. Knowing what they're going to do, okay? And again, this isn't they're not in an energy of just being impulsive or anything like that. So whatever it is they're choosing to do, pile two, just know that it was well thought out, okay? It was something that they took the time to really feel into. And, also know that your person is feeling very trepidatious, very fearful, but they are going to be taking action, okay? All right, now tell me about we will be together again. Oh, yeah. Conflict, that's going to be, I like that if conflict had to come out, though, it's under the Five of Wands and not the Five of Swords, okay? So this is like, it definitely is frustration. It may not be so much anger, okay? I don't know, anger is there, though, but I do like that the Five of Wands, and that might be what it is, they're going to try to figure out a way to soften this angry energy here so that it's not going to come out as a Five of Swords energy, which is very cutthroat and mean-spirited and harsh and just, and maybe soften it more into a Five of Wands energy, okay? But this reunion is not going to be joyful. It's going to be full of conflict, maybe even feelings of competition, might be some back and forth happening. And then we got death at the back of the deck. Yeah, you guys, I'm sorry. And maybe you're not, maybe you kind of halfway expected that, but that's what it feels like the next move is going to be, ending this connection, okay? Terminating it, separating from it. Anything to add for phone call here, and then we'll end your reading. Yeah, just getting clear with Seven of Swords in the reverse, being transparent as much as possible, clearing the air. But I mean, it really is bringing things out into the open, okay? If there were some things that maybe I'm picking up, like clearing the air about something, I mean, that's more of an Ace of Swords. With the Seven of Swords coming up in the reverse, this feels more like, trying to set the record straight. I mean, yeah, it's not the best outcome, but I mean, your person isn't, their intention is not to hurt you, and it's not, to cause you any pain or anything like that. And, if you have any misconceptions about maybe some of the things that went down between you guys, closure, that's what it feels like. Like their next action feels like, ending the connection, but they also want to have a conversation with you, maybe for the purposes of providing you with like some closure that you need, maybe answering some questions that you had, setting the record straight, maybe, getting timelines, figured out and situated in terms like if this, if your person moved on with someone else, or if there is a third party involved, maybe helping you to, see that there was no overlapping or anything like that. But I feel like that's what the phone call or that communication, that conversation is going to be about. Your person trying to settle it in your mind that there wasn't any like sneaky stuff going on, okay? All right, pile two, that was your reading. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to show your appreciation as well as energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know what you thought or how it resonated. Become part of the family by hitting the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, pile two. Pile three, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another Pick a Card Love reading, tapping into your person's energy and channeling what's the next move they're going to be making towards you and towards the connection. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general reading, so whatever resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't resonating, just drop it, leave it behind for the people that it resonates for, all right? I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. All of the booking details are below in the description box. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category, and many of them are just like 25 bucks. So go check them out. See which ones, you know, best fit your needs, wants, and desires when it comes to your connection. All right, you guys, so you were drawn to the natural citrine stone. It's actually a little, I think they call, I forget what they call that, like a record keeper or something. There's a diamond right there, but anyway, natural citrine. Let's find out what your person, what's the main energy influencing their next move and action towards you. We got the shadow work in the reverse. Now, this is coming from a tarot deck, right? That has like 4 extra cards, I think, above and beyond the original 78. And so you guys got one of the 4 extra cards, and it just so happens to be shadow work showing up in the reverse. So, ooh, and then we got Neptune. Oh, I just heard, what's that song? And is it Tovlo? I gotta stay high all the time to keep from missing you. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, your person, I don't know what happened, but I'm picking up an energy of your person not dealing, like checking out, but not really because they want to. It's like they have to. Like, if your person, if you know your person uses like substances, whether it's weed or mushrooms or alcohol or overeating or whatever, it's like whatever their favorite coping mechanisms are, that's basically what they're doing, okay? Heavy avoidance coming through in the energy that your person is in when it comes to you in the connection, which is definitely influencing the action they are or are not going to take. Their next action is to overthink and overanalyze, and in the meantime, like, check out. Right? And with Neptune energy here, which is ruled, you know, which rules Pisces, I mean, they may just retreat to like fantasy land, right? Which means in the context of this reading, not taking action. It's like living the connection out in their head or just escaping, okay? Mentally and emotionally escaping by way of something, whether, you know, they check out by, I'm picking up on like actual substances. Smoking weed is really the main one that's coming through, but smoking weed, alcohol, again, it could also just be, you know, disconnecting and getting lost in, you know, fantasy land. But let's see. Avoidance, okay, definitely coming through. Let's see what's going on. We're going to get your person's thoughts and feelings to figure out where they're at, because that will help us determine the, you know, the action, if any, they're going to take, okay? Pile 3's person, what are your overall thoughts and energy towards, your thoughts and feelings towards pile 3 at this time? It says enjoying the silence. Fucker. Sorry. Okay, all right. So yeah, and then we have the first card that comes out that's opening up this, you know, answering this question is I question your love for me. So I mean, you know, let's get one more. Your honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 3. As long as you love me and we're happy, who cares what they think? If you applied pressure, and then the bottom of the deck says I only have eyes for you. Bottom of the deck energy though. Okay, so your person isn't necessarily wanting to go anywhere. There is a side note coming through for those of you where this applies. If you put any pressure, or if they are feeling pressure to make a specific move, okay, towards you and towards a connection. So that's coming through in like the example of like if you told them they need to step it up, or, you know, they need to make a decision in terms of like to be with you or not to be with you, or whatever the case may be, that's actually causing them to freeze, okay? Yeah, it's causing them to freeze. Let's find out why I question your love for me is here, and then enjoying the silence. I question your love for me. What's that about? So, I mean, they are coming through. If your person has, up until this point, seemed very resistant to making the connection something more regular and solid in, you know, your guys' life, they're telling you it doesn't have really anything to do with, you know, because they're wanting to keep their options open or they're talking to anyone else, because your person is saying, like, in that regard, like romantically, sexually, love-wise, it's like they only have eyes for you. You're really the only one they're attracted to in that way. Now, not to say that they don't find other people attractive, but, you know, them saying they only have eyes for you, their attention in that regard is focused solely on you. They're not looking for attention and validation anywhere else, okay? There's something else going on here. I question your love for me. That's probably what it is. Them questioning the authenticity of your love. And that could be springing from, and it could be irrational, right? It could just be springing from a fear that your person has, you know, some old wounding that they may, you know, fall under the influence of. Tell me more about I question your love for me. Oh, what? Oh, they think it's too good to be true. That's why, because look, you guys, we had these flip out. And they weren't together. I was shuffling and I do jumpers. And so the Queen of Wands came out first in the upright position. And then, you know, you could hear me shuffling. And then the King of Wands in the upright position came out. This is what they question. They almost see this as too good to be true. And it's almost like a fairy tale. Yeah. That's really pointing over towards like this Pisces energy and this dreamy kind of an energy. You know, yeah, your person, like, there's a lot of fire and passion, and this is why they only have eyes for you. That may actually freak them out, you guys. Because up until this point, your person may have been somebody that, you know, loved being single, or, you know, loved mingling or being out and about, or being a bachelor or a bachelorette, or, you know, whatever. And they're so, it's like they found their perfect match with you and they question it. You know? I'm going to leave those out. So why is enjoying the silence? No, I'll put them back in. Why is enjoying the silence here? And then we, at the back of the deck was the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Nine of Pentacles. This is what they're afraid of, is becoming codependent. And they may have already gotten to that point. Very attached, right? To the point of maybe feeling like they need you and they crave you or the energy of this connection. You know, it's like, I do like that both of these came out in the upright position. You know, I feel like maybe separately from you, they feel very confident, sure of themselves. They know what they're doing. You know, whatever action they're taking, it's like it feels fully aligned. But this connection, at least, or their feelings about it, or feeling like it's too good to be true, they're questioning it. It's throwing that off of balance. Like, individually, they're still the King of Wands. But when it comes to this connection, it's like, all of a sudden they're not that confident anymore. They question everything. They waver. But it's coming from a space of fear, right? And doubt, possibly coming from wounding. Yeah, and then Seven of Wands at the back of the deck. They're very resistant to this connection and even resistant to you. Okay, because you got two powerful personalities coming together, you know, creating its own dynamic, and your person's like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, and when that happens, you know, that can require people in that connection to kind of, you know, not try to control the dynamic too much. And yeah, masculine energy is meant to lead, right? But also to lead with an open heart, and to lead with, you know, that understanding that they're not just leading themselves, they're leading their divine counterpart, which would, in this case, would be you. Okay. Tell me more about enjoying the silence. Yeah. Oh, pile 3. Your person knows you're not about that bullshit. You know, you're coming through in the Queen of Swords energy, which is in the upright position is, you know, not a harsh energy at all, but it is somebody that's very discerning, a great lie detector, right? No BS. Very discerning. There's something about your energy that for your person creates some kind of a burden on their energy. I wonder what that is. I don't want to say you drain them. That's not what I'm picking up on necessarily, but they almost feel burdened. What's that about? Why? Are you, what's the burden? Oh, maybe them not being able to give you what you deserve, right? And yeah, and with you coming through in that Queen of Swords energy, that's you knowing your worth and not accepting anything below that, right? Knowing what you want and not accepting anything less. And that's why I feel like they're enjoying the silence in this context because, you know, your person could feel like they're not in a space right now to give you what you want. And so it's like, you know, if they reach out to you with empty hands, you're not going to accept that. And so it's not enjoying the silence like they don't miss you. It's just they're enjoying not letting you down, right? It may very well be a thing of like the lesser of two evils, maybe them not reaching out at all or even offering something is disappointing to you, but it's like, you know, they feel like it's be even more disappointing for them to reach out and let you know that they don't have the ability to give you, or they're not in the space to give you what you want, okay? Why is that, let's see, as long as you love me and we're happy, who cares what they think? Why is that here? I mean, they're not being influenced by what anybody else thinks or anyone else's opinions or influence. Yeah, okay. That can also move over towards, like, you know, if you were wondering whether or not they're hanging back because of their interest in other, like, romantic third parties, and they're like, no, that's not it at all. What they're going through right now has everything to do with their fears and their doubts associated with you in this connection. And your person's ability to maintain it, you know, or whatever, right? Versus them just, you know, wanting to be single and living that kind of a lifestyle. That's not where the energy is coming from. All right, you guys. So they're literally like, it's not, you know, if you think that's what it is, that's not what it is, pile 3. They're going through something, okay? Let's find out what they want. Pile 3's person, what do you want with pile 3 in this connection? What do you want? Okay, let me get one more. They don't want to feel pressured. That's what it is. They don't want to feel pressured. Your person wants to stay, basically, right now, what they're wanting is they want to stay where they're at, but look at the bottom of the deck. Your person is hella frustrating, aren't they, pile 3? Engagement, okay? It says commitment, promises, making it official, marriage in your future. Yeah, so this kind of feels like, you know, that's there. This is on your person's radar, but they don't want to deal with it right now for some reason. Heavy on the escapism. Okay. They don't want to feel pressured or forced to make any decisions regarding this connection right now. There isn't anywhere else they would rather be, okay? We have it twice here. Although it is at the back of the deck on both accounts, you know, if your person is choosing anyone over you in this connection, it's themselves. It's not, it has nothing to do with anybody else. A lot of escapism coming through here. For many of you, if you know your person drinks or smokes weed, that's basically what they're doing. They don't want to deal with it right now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Actually, let me look at deep thinking real quick and see what that's talking, because your person is in heavy contemplation. And with the Hanged Man coming through with this Neptune energy, that's your person suspending things until they can figure something out. But I almost feel like, you know, it's not coming from the best space with shadow work showing up in the reverse. What they're doing is mostly at this point in time, it feels like they're being heavily guided and influenced more by their fears than anything else. They're stuck. Yeah, they're not getting any, they're not making any leeway at all, okay, with whatever this, you know, taking some steps back and trying to figure some stuff out. It's not, I don't even feel like that's what's going on. Your person is lost right now and just overthinking and overanalyzing. A lot of going back and forth. Now I can tell you, you know, the energy that's underlying all of that, okay, you know, there's a desire here from your person for a deeper commitment, for making it official, you know, for even for there being engagement and or marriage in your guys' future. And, you know, and there isn't really anyone else that they want to be with even. Yeah, but there's that inner tug of war going on with them. All right, you guys, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you guys got from this reading what you came here for, take a minute if you would and smash a like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. It's also a great way to show your appreciation, and it keeps me on top of the algorithms. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you would like by hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, pile 3.